y'all, and welcome back for another video. So I'm really excited about this one, and hopefully it makes sense. It's gonna be more of a chatty video, but I had someone ask me, and I know it's been a while since I shared this, like what I do if I do like food prep storage, or what I do with that, because I've been showing some grocery hauls recently and different things that I've been doing. Also, excuse the messy kitchen. You'll understand that here in a second. So I thought I would take some time to share with you guys what I do as far as meat, or where I source our meat, because we just got 2 cows. They were smaller ones, so they're not like huge or anything, but we got the meat from them. We're not having cows up here. Let me just put that out there. But anyways, so today I am making bone broth. So I thought I would bring you guys along, show you how I'm doing it. I've never done it before. So this is gonna be like a real-time trial, possibly trial and error video. But anyway, so I'll go into the whole meat thing later of what I got, how we do it. That way, if you're looking to source your meat locally and have a more secure source for your food, yeah, you can take the tips that I have and hopefully they'll be helpful for you. But we're gonna like fast forward to the bone broth making part, and then we will come back. I will chat once the broth is in the oven or in my crock pots cooking, because that's to cook for like 10 to 12 hours. So like I said, I've never done this before. I'm going off of what I've talked to some like real life friends that have done it, and also other like blogs I've read, videos I've watched, that kind of thing. So first thing this morning, okay, let's back up. So the butcher asked me if I wanted some soup bones. I said yes, and so he gave me some really nice packaged ones that still have some meat on, so they're gonna create this really great flavorful broth. But he also saved me all the bones and stuck them in just like big bags, and I have 3 boxes of nice cut bones. I will have to show you guys what they look like, but they're really clean and nice. So what I'm doing right now, I started this morning early. It is like 9 o'clock, so I started about 7:30 doing this. I stuck 2 trays in the oven with bones on them, and I'm roasting those for an hour at 350 before I start my broth. So it's just gonna heat them up. I actually sprinkled a little bit of rosemary and thyme on top of them. I am not going out to the store to buy anything, so as far as like seasonings, flavorings, aromatics, is that the right word? I'm using what I have here. And I know some people save their scrap, which I just learned this. They save like the end of their celery stalks, their onion peels, their carrot peels. Just save them in a bag in the freezer and use them for bone broth. So I'm gonna be doing that for the next round, but I don't have anything saved up. So I'm just gonna be using onion and then some spices and like herbs and stuff that I have that are like dried spices. Sorry, little dude here, but anyways. So these 2 trays in the oven are about ready to come out. And then I still have some left in this one box. Obviously I don't want just like bones thawed out sitting in my kitchen, because my kitchen already is smelling a little not so nice. So after I pull these out, I am going to use a combination. These are the ones in the oven, are plain like bones, no meat on or anything. I'm gonna use a combination of that and maybe 1 or 2 of the soup bones that have the nice meat and stuff on them. I don't want to use just all that. I want to save some of those and like add them into just plain bones, if that makes sense. So I will put 1 or 2 of those, and then I will do, I think I'm gonna do 1 crock pot and maybe 2 pots. I'm gonna try in the oven as opposed to on the stove. We're gonna see how it goes. But yeah, I'm gonna do that for my broth. And so like I said, you guys are gonna just kind of be seeing like the raw trial and error here. So if you have any tips, you can always leave them down in the comments for me or for anybody else. That would be awesome. But you'll just see what I'm doing and kind of the different methods that I'm putting together to try to do this. And then I will be canning this broth, and it will go on my canning shelves for soups, for gravy. Like beef broth is so good. It makes the best gravy. Yeah, for all those things. So let's hop into it. I will show you guys where I'm at in the process, and we will keep going. Here's what these bones look like. I actually wasn't sure quite what they would look like. I wasn't sure what to expect, but they're super nice, manageable portions, and these are looking so nice. These have been in the oven now for an hour. So I'm gonna get my stuff together to put these in like pots or whatever, and yeah, we will go from there. And then I will stick another tray, or the final tray of these, in the oven. I can show you guys what those look like here in just a second. So excuse the kitchen. I feel really bad about how messy my kitchen is, but the past 2 days actually one day yesterday has just been a little bit of a whirlwind. I went to the butcher and picked up our stuff, and I had our freezers about as empty as I could get them, and we still didn't have space, so we had to actually borrow a freezer from somebody, which is, it's a super big blessing. So I feel really, really blessed to be able to put these things away for our family, but it was a little bit hectic getting everything taken care of, so I did not get to the mess. And I want to get the bone broth started first thing this morning. 1 second. Sorry about that. I caught my son on the table drinking iced coffee. Had to take care of that. But anyways, I thought I would show you guys. These are what the packaged soup bones look like that he packaged. So you might not be able to see very well, but there's a nice big bone in there, and then there's meat surrounding it. So it's really gonna give a great flavor. I'm not sure what to do with the meat after I cook this down. I'm not even sure if it'll be good anymore. I don't know these things. So if you know, maybe you can put down below. I'm gonna find out, obviously, from somebody. But so I'm gonna use a couple of these. Here are the 2 pots that I'm starting out with. I think these will be sufficient for the bones I have for now. So I'm not gonna worry about the crock pot for right now. I'm just gonna do these in the oven or on the stove and then move them to the oven. So I'm gonna fill them with probably the roasted bones first, and then top it off with maybe like 1 or 2 of these. I do have quite a few of these, but these will work great to make bone broth in the future as well. Anyways, and then I think I'm gonna cut up an onion into some chunks and just throw it in on top. Question, if you guys have done this before, do you like double use your bones and stuff, or do you just cook them once, you know, to make broth and then throw them away? I was watching a lady here on YouTube, I can't even remember what her channel was or handle was, but she does like 2 batches of broth with her bones. So I think I'm gonna try that, because I can always pitch the second if it goes bad, but I don't think it will. It should be fine. We'll find out. I'm not sure. Like I said, you're learning with me today. So I'm gonna stop jabbering. I'm gonna get these 2 put in their pot, and then I think what I'm gonna do is while the rest of the bones cook in the oven or roast in the oven for the next hour, which I'll show you how I do it. It's really simple. These will be on the stove. Once they come out of the oven, I will switch these pots to the oven for the remainder of their time, which will be like 10 hours or so. I'll keep an eye on them till I think they're about done. And I think I'm gonna do them at about 250. So that gives you a little bit of time and temperature of what I'm gonna be trying.
So you guys are really seeing real life here with my disastrous kitchen while I'm working, but this is what happens when you're trying to get stuff done. So anyways, back to what I'm doing. So I am filling this kettle with the roasted bones, and it was so nice to have tinfoil down on the pan. It just made cleanup so much easier. And then I topped it off with one of these soup bones, and just to put this out there, the next kettle that I fill, I actually put the soup bone on the bottom to make sure that it gets out like the most flavor, or to maximize it as much as possible. And I added in an onion on top of that, and now I am filling my kettle with filtered water. Make sure the water you use for your broth is a high quality, because the quality of your broth is only going to be as good as the quality of your water. I recently got a Berkey water filter system, which is a gravity fed system. It doesn't require any electricity or anything like that, and I have been loving it. So next I topped off the kettle with a little bit of apple cider vinegar just to help release all the good things in the bones, and then I put the lid on and put it on the stove to bring it to a boil. Also, excuse the tripod moving. Some little munchkin was trying to take over the filming process, so like I said, guys, real raw life here in this video. So I got this kettle on the stove and then started working on my second one. So because my oven was currently empty, I wanted to get another tray of bones in to roast, and here you can see what the bones look like that the butcher gave me. I don't know if every butcher would cut them up like this or give them to you like this, but they were a perfect size. They all fit in a kettle, so I didn't have to worry about having any massive bones, because I don't think I would have been able to do that at all. They were nice and clean, and I was like just not sure what to expect because I've never done this before, but they were great. And so I just roasted them at 350 for 1 hour, just in case I did not tell you guys that before. But this pan was gonna go in the oven, and then once it's done, I will use this to fill my crock pot, and I will put my kettles from the stove top into the oven to kind of just reduce the heat that is being produced in my kitchen from the top of the stove. moving on to this second pot, I did the same exact thing as I did for the first, and actually after I filmed this video, I went out and found a massive pot on Facebook. It's actually a canner, like a water bath canner, but it works as well for this, and it was just way bigger than like both of these combined, and it's so much nicer to do broth in. So, but you didn't see that in this video, so we're just working with what we've got, which is my Dutch oven and this other large pot that I have. But I put the soup bone in first on the bottom and then filled in around it with all the roasted bones I have and topped it off with an onion just like the other one. And then I filled it full with filtered water. And just a note about the Berkey system, if you're looking for a water filtration system for your family that is budget friendly and affordable and does not like break your bank, also it does not need electricity or is a great option for a renter, I definitely recommend the Berkey system, and I have a link in the description box with a discount code that they gave me to share with you guys. So if you're looking for one, check out that link, or you can use it for replacement filters or elements, anything like that. So like I said, check that out, but I'm gonna get back to doing the rest of my broth.
Okay, so I am catching back up with you guys. It's been an hour and my timer here just rang for the bones that are in the oven. Just to kind of catch you up what I've done over the past hour. These two kettles, I brought them to a boil. Once they were boiling, I turned them back to low to kind of like simmer, because I don't want to be boiling them the whole time. Sorry about that. Anyways, because I don't want to be boiling them the whole time, and they're gonna end up going in the oven, so I don't have to have my stove top on, but the oven was full. So, excuse the background noise. I'm gonna take these out of the oven, and I have my crock pot right there. It's not very big. I think it's like a, I want to say a 4-quart, so I'm hoping I can get everything in that's in the oven. I probably won't end up putting like a soup bone in there because I don't know if I'll have room, but we'll see. Also, I forgot to add a little bit of salt to this broth, so I think I might sprinkle some in before I put these two kettles. Ooh, that's hot. These two are gonna go in the oven at 250 for about 10 hours. I'm gonna keep my eye on them. I'm gonna set the timer so I know kind of how long it's been. And then the stuff in the oven will go in the crock pot for, I'm gonna turn it on high to get it to a boil, and then I will turn it back down to probably low or even keep warm because my crock pot heats up quite furiously. And then when the timer rings for these, I will just check the ones in the crock pot as well. So that's kind of where we're at. So it's a couple days later and I'm actually filming today. You guys will see the video I'm filming today after you see this one. So excuse the fact that my voice is croaky and I'm wearing the same thing you're gonna see in next week's video. But I did want to check in with you guys about how the broth turned out because I felt like I kind of left you hanging. I did. I'm sorry. It was a crazy kind of week as I finished up the broth, but it turned out really good. So what I did was, after it all cooked, I strained the broth out of the kettles, or I kind of pulled some of the bones out first before straining it, and then I actually did that, so I added more water into those same bones and cooked them twice and got great broth out of them even the second time, so I'm so glad I did that. I then put the broth into gallon jugs and stuck it in the fridge to chill overnight. It got super like gelatinous and set up amazingly. It was so good to know how much good stuff is in that broth. And then all the tallow, which is like the white fat, rose to the top, and in the morning I could just scoop that off and pull that out, and I can use that as cooking fat. You can also use tallow as a skincare product, so that's a great thing. I then stuck my broth into jars and canned it for 3 hours in a water bath canner, and like I said, I know that is not what is recommended. I don't have a pressure canner, so this is what I'm doing, and this is like how all the family that I have has done it, so this is what we're doing. But anyways, so it turned out great. This broth is so delicious, not only to add to like gravies and things like that, but just to drink in general. It's so good for you. So yeah, I wanted to give you guys the update of how it turned out, and to thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. If you enjoyed it, I would love it if you would hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, sticking around for my next video, hopefully when my voice is not so croaky. But thank you guys again, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.